Stop number 21 on the Castrol GTX Cup Series brings us to the ultimate mecca of motorsports, Indianapolis Motor Speedway in Indianapolis, Indiana. As we are here today for the running of the Brickyard 400, and this is the original. This is the home to the original Great American Race, the Indianapolis 500 for IndyCar racing. Every Memorial Day weekend, and of course, a few miles away. Of course, also home to one of the greatest NHRA drag races of the tour, the Chevrolet Performance U.S. Nationals, which is held at Lucas Oil Raceway, the drag strip at Lucas Oil Raceway, that is. But today we're focused on the famed Brickyard here, and of course it's not called the Brickyard because you see that strip of bricks right there. Well, that was part of the original Indianapolis track that was made of bricks sometime back in the early 1900s. But today, we'll see who grabs the brass ring here today at the famed Brickyard here. On the pole, it is Seth Cullen, car 52 at 179 miles per hour. He'll be alongside car 14, Kyle Langland, alongside. Neither driver has won this season and hope to do so today. Second row is Mike Becker in 43 and number 42, Kyle Matthews, who won the season at Sonoma. Third row sees the first Pocono winner, Jackson Haywood, in number 15, and number 21, Cat Batson, who won the season at Martinsville. Going to the fourth row, we see Johnny Gardner in car number 11, one of the drivers who's won twice this season. He's in the Mountain Dew Buick. He won at Daytona. He won the Daytona in the 400, and he also won at Michigan. Alongside of him is the winner of the first race at Dover. It is Zach Rogers in number 33. He almost pulled one off at Talladega, the last race of the tour. Next row down sees Joshua Osborne in number 25. Osborne won the season at Riverside. Beside him, a two-time winner of the season, Keith Batson in 28, Texaco Haviland Ford. Keith won the season at Bristol, and he also won the second stop at Pocono. Next row down sees Matt McIntyre, the winner of the first stop at Talladega. He'll be alongside Jessica Shelton in car number 9, the Coors Melling Ford. She won at Richmond this season. Next row down has car number 2, Dylan Young, in the J.D. Stacey Buick. He's not yet won the season. He'll be alongside car number 90, Jesse Turner, in the Red Baron Frozen Pizza Ford. Next row down, Levi McIntyre in 17 and number 30, Jay Jefferson. Levi got close to winning at Talladega, the last race of the season. Next row down has number 3, Cole Deaver in the GM Goodrich Chevrolet. He's won twice this season. He won at Rockingham and at New Hampshire. Next, alongside of him is Phil Parker in car number 5. Next row down is Charles Sanford in 24 and number 22, Dylan Poteet. Next row down has number 47, Nathan Hudson, and beside him will be the winner at Darlington, Rob Evans in car number 12. Next row down has Kev Shearer in 71 and the two-time winner of the season so far, Quentin Moore in 26, the Quaker State Buick. Quentin won the season at North Wilkesboro, and he also won at California. Next row down, William Brock in car number 4 and 29, Zachary Fitzwater. Next row down has car number 55, Henry Sanford, and alongside of him, the winner of the second race at Talladega, Paul Minnick, in car number 6, the Strolight Ford. Next row down is Matt Haas in number 8, and beside him, number 75, Daniel Bouchard. Next row down has number 44, Ryan George, and number 1, Zach Winkle, in the winner of the season in the Daytona 500. Next row down has number 27, R.J. Bishop, who nearly won down in Talladega, got passed on the last lap by Paul Minnick, as a matter of fact. He'll be alongside two-time winner of the season, Gene Sanford. She won the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte. She also won the season at Atlanta. Next row down is Alex Miller in 51 and number 7, Wes McCoy. Next row down has Nathan Orman in 88 and number 70, Mitchell Collins. Next row down has number 13, Austin Colano, and number 83, Emmanuel Harding. And starting shotgun field will be car number 94, Ryan Brommer, in a Sunoco Ultra Oldsmobile. This track 2.5 miles in length here. It's not the speeds that you'll be seeing. You'll be seeing speeds almost about like what you saw at Daytona and Talladega, almost, But except this is almost like a rectangular Pocono to some extent. Except Pocono's a triangle racetrack here. This one's a rectangle shaped track. And of course, as one of my buddies in our community says, though, that this track is more or less suitable for open wheel racing instead of stock cars. But we'll see how it goes here today as the fans about to give the Vardy engines here at Indy. That's ladies and gentlemen, start your engines, by the way, because there's 3 ladies in the field in this race today. So the field of 41 rolls off. We'll be back for the start right after this. Back at the Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway as the field's about to get the green flag here to start this race here. In-car cameras today will be carried by Charles Sanford, Kyle Matthews, and Jessica Shelton. Those are the three drivers carrying our in-car cameras. In today's event here at the Brickyard 400, Jess, by the way, is the winner. The winner of the last Brickyard 400 we ran in season 24. She won this race last season. Hopes to go for 2 in a row today here, but of course, you know there'll be 40 drivers trying to spoil that form here today, and of course, everybody wants to win here at Indianapolis. Field comes off turn number 4. Pace car next off on the pit road. Field lined up in perfect position right now, but when the next time they come down on the start-finish line, they'll be about approaching 190 miles per hour on this race, on this straightaway. Green flag flies, and we are underway in the Brickyard 400. Mike Becker apparently did not get off to a good start there. He now falls up. He goes up the racetrack here. Jackson Haywood goes to second position now. Becker moves up to the high side in front between Kyle Langland and Kyle Matthews. As they come down the backstretch in the turn number 3, Seth Cole leads him down in 52. Haywood goes to second. Johnny Gardner trying for third inside of Kyle Langland. This part of the track here, 3 and 4, is a bit of a a trouble spot here. They come off turn number 4 here, and the first lap is completed here, and the field being led by Seth Cole. Jackson Haywood now goes to the low side to try to take the lead here, and he will do so in the turn number 1. Matt McIntyre drafting off Joshua Osborne's car as they take 4th and 5th positions away. Osborne in 4th, Matt McIntyre in the 5th position, Dylan Young, Kyle Langland, Levi McIntyre, Mike Becker, and a battle for 10th looks like between Cole Deaver and Kyle Matthews. As they go through the 3rd and 4th turns now, McIntyre looks low on Osborne. That's Matt McIntyre. It is. Johnny Gardner's up the 3rd position now behind the front 2 of Jackson Haywood and Seth Cole. And remember, as I said, Jackson Haywood, one of the 2 drivers this season who's won at Pocono this season. He won the first stop at Pocono. Keith Batson won the second time he was at Pocono this season. Langland now getting a push from the 43 car of Mike Becker as they go through off turn number 2 down the backstretch here. See how fast they'll go in the draft here. Look, we're looking at the speed on Mike Becker's STP Pontiac. 190 miles an hour. See how fast he goes into turn number 3. 194 miles an hour in the 3rd turn. Goes Mike Becker down about 169 in the middle of in turn 3. Up to about 179 in the Nord chute, and then down through turn number 4, 167 miles per hour. He'll come off at about a little over 170 miles an hour and then come down the backstretch as the battle for the lead has ensued now between the front 2. And up to about 193 miles an hour in the middle in the turn number 1, and the lead change is being done by Seth Cole as he takes the lead over Johnny Gardner now second position, and Jackson Haywood's up the track now. He gets passed by Osborne, gets passed by Matt McIntyre, gets passed about to get passed by the 14 car of Kyle Langland. And now Dylan Young looks to the low side here as he tries to get by Becker. He'll push the 14 car of Langland, the Copenhagen Oldsmobile. Levi McIntyre, 17, runs in 9th position right now, with Kyle Matthews holding 10th at the moment, with Cat Batson running behind him in 11th. Cole Deaver running in 12th position. 13th is Keith Batson. Nathan Hudson's 14th. 15th right now is the 30 of Jay Jefferson. Charles Sanford, 16th position. 17th is William Brock. 18th, Jessica Shelton. 19th right now is Jesse Turner. And Zach Rogers right now runs in 20th. Rogers and Shear following behind the 90 machine is trying to drive up to that 9 car. And they have closed up to the back right there. Here comes Stieber to the low side. Matthews almost got stuck in the middle of a 3 wide situation there, but Dylan Young lucky for him, pulled ahead. That would not have been a pretty sight through that 3rd and 4th turns right there, but here comes battle for the lead again. Jackson Haywood. Nope, it's not Jackson Haywood. It's Johnny Gardner who led the last time by. Joshua Osborne's now passing for the lead now in the 25 car. Nope, it's not Osborne leading, I think. Yeah, it is Osborne leading. Excuse me, I thought I saw another car in front of him, but yes, it is Joshua Osborne leading right now. Kyle Langland in 2nd position. And battle for 3rd between Matt McIntyre and Johnny Gardner as they go into turn number 3. Gardner's won twice this season, and one of the drivers looking for trying to become the first to win for a 3rd time this season. Gardner, Keith Batson, Quentin Moore, Gene Sanford, and Cole Deaver are the drivers who's won twice this season so far. While the rest of the drivers has only won, while the other, I think, 15 drivers has won only once this season. So this, like I said, this has been a very competitive series here in season 25, and it's lived up to his billing. Osborne, of course, with the gold 25 on the Folgers car, as Tim Richmond ran in the 1986 Daytona 500, commemorating the well, I guess you could say a golden season because nobody else's season has gone up to season 25. Except for maybe Pichu London series, but I don't know. Anyway. Matt McIntyre getting home to the high side here. Now he's got the other McIntyre, Levi, behind him. And Mike Becker says, I ain't going with that, though. He goes to the low side for position now. Follows behind Seth Cohen and Johnny Gardner. Lap speeds pushing 180 miles per hour here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You'll see what the fastest lap of the race so far is. We're averaging 176.9 after 7 laps here, and the fastest lap race has been, well, first 5 lap speeds have been over 180. Zach Rogers has his fastest lap at 180.661. Here, Jesse Turner, Kev Shear, Kyle Matthews, and Jessica Shelton have all hit over 180 miles an hour a lap here at Indy. At least in this race today they have. And Mike Becker goes way down the racetrack here. Gets past Matt McIntyre and tries to get by Levi now in 17. Levi pulls ahead. Whoa, now if that would have been a battle for the win, that would have been nuts. McIntyre was clocked 7th the last time by. Levi McIntyre was 6th. Becker was clocked 7th at that time by, but Levi's now dropped back a bit in the 17 car. The front stretch, it's kind of funny, the front stretch gives you a little bit more momentum on the outside, but when you go to the inside, when you're outside in turn number 1, then you're pretty much swallowed up by the field. As Levi was that time by. Now Charles Sanford goes by him in 24. Sanford, I think, might be back with that right when we go to Cup 90 next season. Actually, I'm almost thinking about Cup 90, but I'm not sure. But I'm actually really not sure what mod we'll probably do if we do a season 26. Jackson Haywood had to back off a little bit here, so he now runs 3rd position behind Joshua Osborne and the leader, Kyle Langland. Langland's not yet won this season there, so he hopes. And what a better place for him to win this first one than possibly the Brickyard here. So you mentioned Indianapolis is that kind of a prestige here. This track has been around the longest, other than maybe the Milwaukee Mile. And here comes Osborne for the lead here. Osborne, of course, a fan of many types of motorsports here. Here, a fan of NASCAR racing, IndyCar racing, drag racing, dirt car racing, motocross. Here, if it's got wheels and an engine, you name it, he's a fan of it. Here. Gardner at the 3rd position now. Here comes Seth Cole for 4th, and he gets by Jackson Haywood in the 15 car. Haywood has been on a tear in the middle of the season so far. Other than that win at Pocono, he has had some superb runs this season in the last few races there, and I think Talladega might have been included. I'm not sure how he did over there. He did finish Talladega, I should say, as he come off turn number 4 here, and Osborne now gets pushed from Johnny Gardner and moved Joshua Osborne to the front of the pack here. Gardner to second position. Here comes number 15. It is Jackson Haywood, and Gardner's stuck in the middle of the track now, and whoa. Langland had to back way off, and that's let Mike Becker and Cat Batson in this battle now. The 43 and 21 cars, kind of little, looks like the shades of Petty versus Pearson right there from back in the 70s as they come down the backstretch. And the battles those two drivers had in NASCAR over the years, especially the two battles at Daytona that Pearson won, the 74 400 and the 70s, and of course the famous 76 500 finish as well. Backstretch, here comes Gardner, low side of Haywood. He's about maybe a car and a half behind him here, but now Seth Cole looks slow on the track. Here comes Haywood looking inside of Osborne. Chevy in first, Ford in second, Buick in third, then Pontiac's 4 and 5. Then another Ford in sixth position. That is Cat Batson. Langland's dropped to 7th. Jay Jefferson up to 8th. 9th is Levi McIntyre in 10th position. Going forward, 10th is Charles Sanford in 24. As he's now right behind him, he's got Jesse Turner in the 90 and the 9 car of Jessica Shelton. On board with Kyle Matthews in car number 42. Matthews running 15th the last time by. Keith Batson goes by him. Kev Shearer goes by him. Here comes 22. Dylan Poteet to the low side. And Matthews will get the draft off Kev Shearer's car. And now you're with Jessica Shelton at number 9. And you saw the speed at 195 miles an hour into turn number 3. Goes Shelton. And up to about 177 in the middle of in the turn number 4. And now she'll dive to the low side. She's right behind the 4 of William Brock in the Kodak Film Oldsmobile. Trying to get a draft of the 18 car of Matt McIntyre, but that high side will prove to be no dice for Shelton as she goes into turn 3. And now Kyle Matthews down to the low side here, trying to pick up what he lost here a minute ago. And now you got the Dillon side by side, Poteet in 22 and Young in the 2. And I never thought I'd be saying this prior to the season, but both Dillon's driving Buicks, believe it or not. I would have pictured Dylan Young in a Ford or a Chevy, or Dylan Poteet in a Chevrolet or even a Pontiac or a Dodge, but never in a Buick. I never would have thought I'd see those two in those cars. And meantime, up to the lead goes number 11, Johnny Gardner, looking for his third victory of the season and his first ever at the Brickyard. Jackson Haywood, though, right there behind him, he dives to the low side, comes to the inside of Gardner. And he's going to bring the 25 of Joshua Osborne behind him. And Jay Jefferson, where did he come from? He's up the 4th position now. He was 8th the last time we talked about him. And whoa! Haywood and Gardner almost touched in turn number 4. And that's going to let Gardner pull ahead, I think, for the moment. Osborne looks low, nothing there. And he tries low again in turn number 1. Maybe he's trying to catch a sniff of the draft, though, probably going into turn number 1. But by the time he heads off into turn number 1, tries to see how much he gets a run. and he gets enough of a run where he takes the lead, takes second position, I should say, for the moment. But he got a gaggle of cars right there behind, and now here comes Levi McIntyre and Jesse Turner to the low side, trying to make their bid for position. They know it's go time. We're down to 8 laps to go, 7 to go in this time by. This time by completes lap number 17 in this 24-lap race. McIntyre, number 17 for the position. That he gets by Mike Becker. Keith Batson knows it's go time in the 28 car. And here comes Jesse Turner, car number 90. The Red Baron person beats a Ford. He looks slow on McIntyre in the 17 machine. That was 5th position Levi McIntyre took. And now Johnny Gardner goes to the high side. Joshua Osborne goes to the lead. And Jay Jefferson, he's been close a couple of times this season for victory. In fact, those 2 races he should have won, as a matter of fact. And you know he is PO'd and not real happy about those 2 races. In other words, driving like a man possessed. He's up on the back bumper of Osborne as he sticks the nose at yellow Pontiac underneath that maroon-colored Chevy. Six laps to go. Nose to tail. That's what it is at Indy at over 175, 177 miles an hour at this point. As we mentioned, speeds of almost 180 miles an hour the whole time. They qualified on the pole at 179. That was Seth Cole's pole speed for this event. But here comes Haywood. He's trying to make a 3-wide race here. They're trying to make a 3-way race here. Gardner's trying to join in. McIntyre trying to join in. Levi McIntyre, that is. As he and Jesse Turner tries to come up to the field here. Mike Becker's in 8th position. 9th is Matt McIntyre, and 10th is Keith Batson. And now you got a battle going on here. Battle of the drafts here. Seth Cole pushing Jessica Shelton past, trying to push her past Charles Sanford in 24. And Shelton's passed him, move her up to the 13th position. Seth Cole in 14th. Matthews in 11th. Shearer running in 12th. Or Shearer's running 11th, I should say. Matthews in 12th. And Langland running in 10th. And now the shuffle's on up ahead. Keith Batson trying to follow Matt McIntyre, Jesse Turner, and Levi McIntyre. And now Jesse goes up the track. Here comes Matt McIntyre. He leaves a hole. That's a hole left open right there. And now Jefferson's slipping back just a little bit as they go into turn number 1. McIntyre looks low on Jefferson, the 17 and the 30 cars. Levi McIntyre comes to the low side of the track here. Does Jesse Turner follow through? I imagine he will eventually. Nope, he does not follow through. He stays on the high side of the track here, and that let Jefferson close the door and battle for the lead here. That's Haywood, the low side of Osborne for the number 1 spot. And he's got it. Jefferson looks slow on him. Here, Jefferson looks slow. He gets into it. Levi McIntyre gets into it in the 17 car. He has also making a 3-wide in turn number 1. And no dice there, but Jefferson now goes for the lead. And he's got it. Turn number 1. Jay Jefferson, car number 30, out in front here at Indy. He's been close so many times this season. Can he finally pull one off here in season 25? McIntyre to second, but here comes Haywood to the low side. Now Matt McIntyre, the 18, gets into it now. They don't have far to go for the lead, but we don't have far to go in this race here. We'll be down for 2 laps to go this time by. This completes lap number 22 of 24. Haywood the second. The trick is to try to stay in the draft if you possibly can here. And McIntyre says it's go time. He's got the other McIntyre, Matt McIntyre, right behind him in the 18 car. They're going to try to hook up to try to get past, try to get the Jay Jefferson in the 30. It'll be the white flag this time by. Can Levi McIntyre catch Jay Jefferson? That's the question. McIntyre gets a good run going in the third turn. Though he closed up on Jefferson just a bit. Though the margin last time it was 3,500 of a second between at the time the 30 and the 15 cars. White flag a wave this time by at the Brickyard 400. Levi closes up the white flag and the yellow flag's flown too. And if that's the case, that may mean Jay Jefferson's going to win it. And it was Mike Becker who crashed with 2 to go. Oh, fudge. And what about we were going to have for the win here at the Brickyard? That was for sure. And McIntyre saying, doggone, if I'd have been closer, I'd have got him. And for Jay Jefferson, he better hope he's got enough gas in the tank, though, because you remember the 600 at Charlotte, he had it all won, then missed the entrance to pit road, and then and to make matters worse, ran out of gas, giving the lead and the win to Gene Sanford at the 600 at Charlotte. But I don't think fuel's going to be a problem here in Indy. I don't think here. Levi McIntyre, oh so close, comes home second in this race here. Third will go to Matt McIntyre. Fourth will be Jackson Haywood, Joshua Osborne fifth. Sixth is Johnny Gardner. Seventh will go to Jesse Turner. Eighth to Keith Batson. Phil Parker, we haven't talked about him at all today. He ends up finishing ninth. And Cat Batson will end up coming home 10th in this race. But we're gonna watch very quick. We're gonna watch very closely here, see what happens between now and the checkered flag. But I don't see any problems with that 30 car, and it looks like he is finally going to do it. That caution flag was what saved Jay Jefferson from possibly getting a run put on the last lap. Jay Jefferson wins the season 25 Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis, almost caution free until it comes to the white flag here. But you can't take nothing away from Jay Jefferson. The number 30 Country Time Lemonade Pontiac finally grabs his first victory of the season, averaging 169.69 miles per hour. I think Kev sure likes that number too, I think, doesn't he? Anyway. So 21 races are in the books here in season 25. We'll give you the rest of the finishing order here. Charles Sammer comes home in 11th. Kev Scherer, we mentioned for him, comes home in 12th. Kyle Matthews 13th. Kyle Langland 14th. Dylan Young 15th. Jessica Shelton 16th. 17th will go to Seth Cole. Zach Rogers was 18th. Zachary Fitzwater. Quentin Moore was the top 20. Then Rob Evans, Nathan Hudson, Paul Minnick, R.J. Bishop, Matt Haas, Daniel Bouchard. Cole Deaver dropped to 27th in the final running order. Not much of a factor today, unfortunately for him. Nathan Orman, Henry Sanford, and Austin Colano was the top 30. Rest of the finishing order here, Mitchell Collins, Dylan Poteet, Emmanuel Hartnett, Alex Miller, Zach Winkle, Ryan George, Gene Sanford, Wes McCoy, Ryan Brummer, William Brock, and Mike Becker was the final finisher of the race here today. Let's take a look at what happened to Mike Becker. They were coming for the white flag when this happened here. Becker was running in 11th position when this happened. He actually came down on Gene Sanford. Gene just pushed Becker up the track into the wall he goes. Several cars did a darn good job missing him, but not William Brock in the 4 car. He gets tagged by Cole Deaver in the 3 car and sent the 4 car into the wall. And the sad ending for the Richard Petty cars that was having a darn good run here today, here at the Brickyard 400, but alas, it just all fell down for him as as this race ends here. So that will do it today at Indianapolis Motor Speedway here. Congratulations again to Jay Jefferson, the winner of the Brickyard 400 Season 25. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on this channel. We got NRS's gaming videos, whatever the president of the NNSCRA Seth Gold desires for his channel. And be sure to check out some NR online videos also on this channel as well, and subscribe to this channel on YouTube, and also like the page on Facebook as well. You know, some of the best stuff's under the NNSCRA umbrella, and you will not regret checking those races out. And also be sure to check out Seth's Duracell Cup Series as well. I guarantee his races are a lot better than what I have to offer too. So that will do it today at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. For now, this is James Wilson. This has been a production of the NNSCRA. Offline racing at its best. We will see you at the third and final road course race of the season at Watkins Glen.